Hello, good evening, and welcome to all of you sailing and e-sailing fans sitting around the world. Welcome to the eSailing World Championship 2021. My name is Thomas Bjørnlykke, and I'm going to guide you to tonight's dramatic battle. And I have to say, it's going to be quite a battle tonight. But I'm not going to be alone, because of course, always with me on my side, I have the face of world sailing with me. And please be polite to him tonight, because I've been teasing him all the time that he's a little bit smaller than me, a little bit more pale, because he's British. But actually, right now, he's more south positioned than me. He's with me live from France. And that's actually was guest coming, Alec. But there we are going in with you instead of here. Welcome, Alec.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. For me, it's good evening. I'm actually in France, in the northern French port of Le Havre. Already, there's a big race going on at the weekend here called the Transat Jacques Vabre, and that's why I'm here. But our focus tonight is on the eSailing World Championship, the second year running that we're doing it remotely, and it is a really exciting climax with some of the best players from around the world.
Yeah, and Alec, the best players around the world this year has gone younger. This is also the youngest lineup we have ever in the eSailing World Championship. But before speaking more about that, let's go in and see a little bit about the format and guiding through that format. And then we have, maybe some of you saw a glitch of it, a special guest star with us after that. And Alec, here we have the format with us. It's going to be quite amazing. We're going to have 8 races tonight. Can you tell a little bit more about how it's built it up?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of this is that we're going to test these sailors on 8 or 7 different types of boats. We're going to have 2 races in the J70, including the medal race. But otherwise, there's the Star, the Nacra, the Laser, the 49er, the super fast EF50, and the Laser as well. It's low scoring. Everyone is going to be competing. It's fleet racing. And then we go to the medal race for double points for a big climax at the end of the night.
Yeah, we're going in for a big climax. And last year we saw how incredible tight this race is going to be, because these players, we saw Jon Cardona winning in the middle race, where actually the one we thought was going to win, he's also here tonight, Ramon. He got 6th in the middle race where Jon Cardona won, and then suddenly Jon Cardona won with 2 points. So it's not over before we're done with the last race of tonight. But Alec, before that, let's go in and meet a special guest star with us tonight. And all of you, please welcome the CEO of Virtual Regatta, Philippe Guenet.
Hello.
Philippe, bonsoir. And
Bonsoir.
you too are in Le Havre.
Yes, exactly, in Le Havre, this city in Normandy, in France.
Now, how excited are you about tonight, and what do you think of the fact that we have such a young fleet of sailors?
It's so impressive. I'm so happy just to watch it as a fan, as a sailor. I can't wait to watch it, as well as I can't wait to watch tomorrow. I would see 10 of the best players in the world. I'm so fan of watching them playing so well, sailing so well, using the real tips we have in physical world of sailing. And I would like to say to all of them, first of all, good luck. Good luck. Have a nice racing, a fair racing. And I would like to thank you, Thomas, and I would like to thank you, Alec. I would like to thank World Racing for all what we have created all together, because this final is absolutely it's bigger and bigger. It's better and better, and I love it.
Bon, Philippe, merci à toi aussi. Je sais qu'il y a des fêtes ce soir au port de l'Havre, so I'm going to let you go and enjoy yourself. But make sure you keep an eye on the championship. I think we've got some really exciting racing to come tonight.
My name is Trudy Armbranker, and I am the Master Blender for Montgay Rum. Montgay is unique because of where we are. We have been producing here on the same location for over 300 years. Montgay is unique because Barbados is the birthplace of rum. Montgay and rum is part of Barbadian culture. You're passionate about it from the start.
And boys and girls and skippers around the world, welcome to the eSailing World Championship. We are getting ready for race number 1 and all 10 players are in there. And Alec, I know you are in France, but can you hear me right now?
I can hear you absolutely loud and clear, and I can see the race beginning to build up. So this is really exciting as we build up to the first race, which is going to be in the Star class. And you know, for this, we're going to go to Cadiz in Spain, a great sailing venue. And the Star class, I think all the players are now in. So we've got all 10 players, and the start clock is ticking.
Yeah, and Alec, race number 1.
We're going to do.
Yeah, race number 1 is a
we've
medium upwind. It's a classic upwind race, 4 legs in total, and then they come to the finish line. And Alec, 50 seconds to the start. It's going to be very tight and very close. 10 top players, as we heard Philippe telling to us in studio. So what do you think is coming up?
And it's going to be tactical as well, because the Star class is the slowest boat in this championship, and it's the slowest boat we're going to see tonight. That doesn't mean it's not exciting. It's got a really large wind shadow, which means the downwind legs are crucial. And what it means also is that we often see the final leg down to the finish line is the deciding leg. So let's keep an eye now on the course, because we've just got a few seconds to the start, and the boat that's over there needs to get back on side or they'll be penalised. There's a bit of pushing and shoving and jostling early on in this race. The nerves and the adrenaline are pumping for our 10 sailors in this World Championship, and a couple of boats getting it all wrong. MCS Rock and Yatsuki picking up penalties, but right now they're in the middle of the course and they're spread out across that course from left to right.
Yeah, and Alec, it's the Star boat. Normally we see this boat going nice and slow upwind. You can see 5.3 knots upwind. Here we have Ramon Pereiro and Carlos Pereiro. They both are in family together. You can see this age difference on the pictures. You can just see Carlos, 19 years old, and he's here, and then he's fighting against Ramon. That's 27 years old. Both of them from Sevilla, and they are from Club Nautico Sevilla, going side by side, and see how close they are to each other. And you can see here Ramon controlling Carlos, but it's the opposite side, or in the middle we have the battle for the lead. It's Tristan Perron, as Sir Alec. We know a lot about him.
Yeah, we know all about Azaire, or Tristan Perron, his real name. He's from Rennes in France, as you can see on the screen. I love these new little graphics showing us the sailors' faces. It's always good to put a face to a boat, isn't it? And he was in the eSailing World Championship final a couple of years ago as well. We were all in Bermuda for that on stage. But here, I think we're seeing a different Azaire. We're seeing a much more composed Azaire who's been in some really good form all season. And I think he's got to be one of the outstanding favourites in this fleet of 10.
Yeah, and here on the left-hand side, we have Yutsuki. Yutsuki, he's from Japan, Nara, and he's actually the first Asian qualified player at all. So amazing stuff by him. And we're going to talk more about players when we're coming in. We're approaching the first top mark. The first battles are coming in. We have the Pereiro brothers. They are up here. It's Carlos versus Ramon. And right now it's Carlos taking it Ramon on the inside. We have him here in the picture. Tristan tacking in front of him. We have Chico Pimelo. He's from Portugal. And Chico, he's the second, and I have to say, no, the third oldest that's in tonight. He's from Portugal coming in there. But see the battles here. It's Ramon, it's Tristan, it's Azaire, it's Greek 9, it's Carlos. They're approaching the top mark, Alec. And what to say about this top mark? There's going to happen a lot up here.
Carlos Pereiro looks like the man who will be reaching the top mark for the first time in this World Championship final regatta. The 19-year-old from Sevilla is nice and clear as the rest of the boats all come in. Lots of traffic. They've got to stay clear of each other, and they've got to avoid that mark as well. They don't want to touch the buoy. They'll pick up a penalty, and a penalty there for Francis Pepito.
Yeah, it's unlucky for Pepito. The young guy from Montpellier, actually normally doing a high-class level, but I have to say, this is the 10 best players in the world. This is why it's the eSailing World Championship. And now, Alec, they're going downwind. This is the downwind action. And see this starboat. If you're new to this game, if you're a new viewer, we can see we have a lot of viewers out there. Then this starboat has a wind shadow of 38 meters. And you can almost see on this wide area in front of the boat, it's very strong in the middle of the wide area of the wind shadow, and light in the sides. So if you're caught there, that's why Chico, he's going here to the left side to avoid that wind shadow. But in the lead, it's still young Carlos Pereiro.
That's, I imagine, where he's going to stay unless one of the other boats catch him. But that was why it's really significant in the Star to reach that top mark with breathing space behind you, with a good gap, so that on the downwind leg you're not easily and quickly caught by your opponents. So down we go to the bottom gate, and you can see the leaders beginning to spread out. A real battle happening in the middle of the course, though, as those wind shadows start taking effect, especially there with Greece 9.
Yeah,
Yanis.
Yanis, and Yanis is the most routine players of all of them. 42 years old, and he's not normally winning the big events, and it's the first time he's qualifying for this World Championship, but he has been so close so many times. But see the mark rounding, Alec. It's going to be very crowded, and only one penalty, and that's for Ramon at the moment. He's going to slow down in the upwind, so not the best start for the defending vice world champion from last year, 2020.
Because the boat is so much slower, picking up a penalty in it can be quite costly, especially if you're if you were in the position that he was in just then. But hugely experienced. We'll see him work his way up. Mike O'Donovan there, Deja Vu is his racing name, and I was just trying to spot him on the leaderboard there. He's calling himself Ronston Deja Vu tonight. So he's down in 10th place at the moment. But a lot of the time, what they're trying to do is head towards these white dotted lines. If you're new to the game, those are what we call the ley lines, which basically is the most efficient way up to the top and bottom marks. But they change all the time according to the wind.
Yeah, and Alec, as our viewers out there, a lot of viewers are writing us both on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch and Twitter. And one of our favorite viewers just wrote, hey, did you see how Farley came back? He was in 7 in that mark rounding, and now he's 3rd overall. But He's in trouble. Ramon is coming in here, will go in front of him. Chico will go in front of him. Greek 9 will go in front of him. That means he will drop down, but he needs to fight for his positions. But in the lead, it's still Carlos Pereiro, and he's followed by Azir Tristan Perron. So great move by the two youngsters up here. But I have to say, most of them are young tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've only got 3 teenagers. We make it sound like, you know, we've got a school class here, but it's not. And so I think because for us, Thomas, a lot of these guys, you know, we've been watching them playing since they were about 14, 15. But they're now in their 20s and really are hugely experienced. So we've got ages ranging from 42 to 17 tonight in this World Championship final, and it's fantastic to see.
Did you see that, Alec?
I did see that.
Then he got the penalty. He just found some space to come in between, took a chance, but then he got penalized by Dejavu. And one thing, see Dejavu, Michael Donovan, he's not in 10th place anymore. He's in 5th, Alec. How they're doing, these guys. They're coming back, just seeing some wind, and then suddenly they speed up, and I'm back in the race.
Yeah, Rocco Guerra of Italy struggling at the back of the fleet there. But Carlos Pereiro is out in front, heading towards that finish line. And I think if we could swoop and fly above them just to see how those wind shadows are at the front of the fleet. And I'm wondering if any of them are going to be able to catch each other. We've got Tristan there in 2nd place. And Carlos Pereiro in the lead. And I think it's going to be pretty difficult to catch the Spaniard now.
Yeah, but Tristan can do it. But I think Tristan, he learned an important lesson. Don't battle if you lose. Because a small penalty in this battle, he can actually go in and attack Carlos. Let's see the speed. He's also 0.4 knots sailing faster than Carlos. So he's actually winning.
I'll tell you what's happening as well here. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm just looking at the shadows on the water, and the wind is strengthening on the side towards Tristan Perron. So Azir is got the speed, and let's check the speed on Carlos Pereiro. So 6.8 for Tristan Perron, 6.9. So they're kind of matched, but as the wind is coming over from that left side, it is now affecting Carlos Pereiro, the wind shadow off Azir's boat. And look how close the finish line is. It's a battle. It's one-on-one. Penalty. And that is why Azir is the favourite to win this World Championship final. He just waited and then struck right at the last moment. That was perfection from the Frenchman. Congratulations to him. He wins our first race of this regatta. Chico Pimelo is 3rd. A battle for 4th now. Remember, all the points in this regatta format. And it's Ramon, and then Vic Farley, and then Pepito. And Ronston Deja Vu coming in across the line in 10th.
In 10th, and that's very unlucky for Deja Vu. It looks so good for a long time, but let's just have a confirmation. Azir Tristan winning race number 1, Alec. Then Carlos Pereiro in race number 2. Chico Pimelo 3rd. Ramon 4th. Vit Farley, Arthur Farley, he's going into 5th. Pepito goes into 6th. Yutsuki 7. Rock 8. Deja Vu 9. Greek 9 10th. And it's not a big surprise when you're watching these stats. Tristan had the best start. Ramon, he sailed the best average speed and maximum speed. So that was his comeback. And also he caught the wind best in the comeback because it didn't look good for him. Carlos Pereiro, he sailed the shortest distance, but he lost on the finish line to Tristan that just managed to capture him and give him a penalty. And you can see here in the race chart like how they're switching positions. And then you can also see Ramon, he actually had a very good downwind leg in the first downwind leg, and there he actually came back, but Chico Pimelo defended his position. And a huge penalty for Deja Vu in the last downwind leg. That's the red line, how he dropped down. So very unlucky for Deja Vu. Very good play by Azir in this case. So a very good start in this competition. But Alec, I have to say it's a great race we have today. There's full power on it.
So, obviously, this is the World Championship final, but I just want to mention the Nations Cup, because a lot of these players are going to be, well, 4 of these players are going to be representing their countries in the final on Saturday night. The Brits against the French in the Nations Cup final. And Azair, if you remember, in that semi-final, we interviewed him, and he said, you know, I've had a great season. I've hit real form. I'm feeling really confident. And you can see that. There's just an aura about him at the moment. And to win that first race in such a perfect, spectacular fashion, the others are going to be wondering really if they're ever even going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, but Alec, instead of hearing us talking so much today, let's hear from the players how proud they are to be part of the World Championship 2021.
Thanks. My feeling is good. I think I have a chance to win, but the level gonna be very big.
Thank you. Yeah, I am really happy, and I am so excited.
Well, it's very nice for me because last year I was very proud to be in the final and I enjoyed it a lot. It was sad the final medal race. I could win the World Championship, but I have a new chance this year, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, really excited. Obviously last year I was in it as well, and it was an absolute massive fight between all of us. The skill levels are really close, so I really enjoy the racing. And
I feel very well to get the final. It was my goal in the season, and compete with all these great sailors.
And Alec Wilkinson, we're going into race number 2 of this eSailing World Championship. We're going into the Nacra. The Nacra 17. It's a much faster boat. Can you guide us a little bit before we start the race?
Yeah, so we've had the Star, the slowest boat in the fleet. The Nacra isn't the fastest, but it is the second fastest. And in Olympic sailing, it's the only foiling boat to compete at the Olympic Games. So it's an exciting boat, normally raced by 2. Obviously, we've got 1 gamer on board this eSailing boat, and it's fast and it's really exciting. And the players have got to be really quick on the controls. They need to know their device, and they need a pretty good connection, because the slightest delay is going to cause you problems. We've also got a reaching start, and that means a reaching finish as well. We'll see them go up and down, and then it's a left turn to the finish line. Yeah. So that's the plan, and we have 45 seconds to go. And we're looking at Mike O'Donovan here, just keeping out of trouble, keeping cool, keeping calm, wondering maybe what his plans are, what his statistics.
Yeah, and Alec, what they're looking for is they want to go in and say, hey, don't want a penalty. I want to go on the inside, the left side. Also, they want to start with speed. But the worst thing they can do is do a false start, mistime it. And you can see how they're battling here for left side. Yutsugi getting a penalty here in this case. And now they're speeding up 10 seconds, Alec, to this start.
Yeah, so now they are accelerating away. The wind is filling those sails. The power is on, and across the line they go. And that was a good, clean start from all the players as they head towards the first reach mark. And then it's a left turn to the next gate.
Yeah, and Pepito with a good start, Alec. He's coming into the mark. It's Giannis with him, Greek 9. Then Chico Pimello behind. It's Yutsuki and Deshavu, and they're racing down to the first gate mark. This is a very important race. It's still Pepito in the lead. But see, Greece 9, Giannis is coming with speed. battle. Oh, almost a penalty up there. So they have a battle. Grease 9, he wants to win this Nacra race. And now we're going upwind, Alec. And in this boat here, we don't have boundaries like in the EF50. So they can do everything they want. See, Grease 9 in trouble. Just there, Pepito coming in. So how to race upwind here?
Well, at the moment, they're all battling it out in the middle of the course. There's a bit of a sort of left shift there, and we'll see if that takes an effect. But look at who's kind of out in front. It's Tristan Perron doing the business again in third place. Greece is second. Pepito is just ahead of them. But it's early days. This is a fast race, but you already see how different the feel of this race is from the star class that we saw earlier on.
Yeah, and you can see Carlos, he went to the right-hand side. He went into lighter wind. If you're new to this game, up in the top left corner and in the water, you can see light patches, dark patches. A light patch, or light color in the water means light wind. Dark wind, a dark color means harder breeze. But in the battle in the lead here, and when you're sailing the Nacra 17, you are in a case where you're not going into the strongest wind with the boat, because then you will not speed up. You have to be in middle wind. But in the lead, it's Pepito. It's Greek 9. Good restart race for them. Tristan coming in. Oh! Chico almost getting a penalty. Carlos Pereira going opposite. Yutsuki, Deja Vu, Arthur Farley, and this is his favorite boat, Alec. So the young Farley in trouble in his favorite boat. So what's going on here? Let's see how this goes.
Arthur Farley in 8th place, the world #1 and British champion at the moment in 2021 is struggling in 8th place. And out in front, there's a real little cat and mouse fight going on between Pepito and Greece 9, and they've split to different marks, with Greece sticking to this left-hand side. Now, will that pay off?
Yeah, let's see if it'll pay off. See here, Pepito come in, Greece. Oh, Yanis, he's really prepared for this. What we saw Pepito doing, Tim Carpentier, he was ready to do a downwind attack. But this routine player, he has been playing so many races in Virtual Regatta Inshore. And do you know what, Alec? He's actually been playing eSailing for 15 years now. So he has been also in the former games and offshore games and a lot of things. So he knows a lot about it. He's going here to the right-hand side all by himself. Rest of the fleet with Pepito, Tim Carpentier going to the left-hand side.
Yeah, Yanis Kakanias, hugely experienced in real sailing as well. Spent 7 years on the national Greek Olympic sailing team, sailing tornadoes. Very different from what he's sitting on at the moment. Much faster, of course, the foiling Nacra. And here we go then. Let's follow them up to this mark with Pepito out in front and Greece 9 hot on his tail. Now, as they merge, as they converge on this top mark, let's have a look.
It's
and Greece 9, slightest advantage over the Spaniard.
No, yeah,
Carlos
actually,
coming
Carlos.
as well.
It's a very great race by the young Carlos. He went with Greece to the left-hand side. They're going for this reaching mark, and this is now the last leg into the finish line, and it looks like Greece 9 in the lead. Maybe it's going to take it. He's followed by Carlos. Let's keep it here. Then Pepito coming in, but it's Greece 9 up there taking it. Then it's Carlos in second, Pepito third, Farley in fourth, Deja Vu. So we are switching around the positions, but here at last, oh, it looks hard for the Italian. Rocco coming in, but here we have to finish. All the boats coming in nice and slow. Tristan dropping to 7. So Alec, already now we can see how much difference there are in skills for these players, because these positions are switching all the time. Here we can see it first. Greece 9 taking his first victory tonight. Carlos taking second, Pepito third, Farley fourth, Deja Vu fifth, Ramon in 6, Tristan in 7, Chico P. Mello in 8, Yutsuki in 9, and Rocco going into 10. So it looks really hard for the Italian, but it's also pretty fun to see, because race number 1, Greece 9, he lost, and now he won race number 2. So it's a very, very tight World Championship, just as last season. The best start in this race for Tristan, the best speed was maximum speed was for Tristan also, but Farley sailed the shortest distance. But none of those doing a great result here in the stats was winning. It was Grease 9 battling it out with Pepito, and the last upwind leg was very costly for Pepito. He went to the left-hand side where Grease 9 and Carlos went to the right-hand side together with Farley. And you can see Farley, he won 4 positions on it. Carlos, he won 2 positions on it. So, great race by 2 of the top players there doing a very, very great result. And Alec, that will mean a lot of things when we are coming back to studio in the overall score.
Feeling slightly... I'm feeling slightly guilty because I think on the second race, it was a bit of the commentator's curse. We talked up Azair after his first victory, and then he ended up coming 7th. And that means he's now in 2nd place overall. So we shall see. Right, so that's the format, and that's the schedule of what's coming up. We've still got 2, 4, 6 races to go.
Yeah, and Alec, we have divided the players into different categories. We have divided them into 3 groups. A group we call the fighters. Let's just meet them, because we have some favorites in the community. We have somebody there as the young guns, and then we have the fighters we're seeing it here. It's Mike O'Donovan, and we know a lot about Deja Vu. He's a fighter this year because he hasn't won anything big, but he managed to qualify it anyhow. And then we have Grease 9 now.
Yeah, Deja Vu, really experienced despite only being 20. Talking of experience, his Grease 9, and he's shown his mettle in that second race. Did really well, and I think he's a tough, hard fighter. Francisco or Pico de Mello, again, 28 years old. Really experienced, and I think we're going to see him do really well as well. Now, here's my favourite. I love the pose. It's very Japanese. This is Kazuki Hazogi, 23 years old from Nara in Japan.
Yeah, and
a big sense of humour.
Yeah, and they are all fighters because they have fought their way into it. Some of them we didn't think will go into this World Championship, and then they were here anyhow. Let's just see the overall score before going into race number 3. We can see Carlos Pereiro in the lead with 4 points, Tristan 8, Pepito, he has 9. Then we have Farley with 9 points, Ramon 10 points, Grease 9 11 points, Chico 11 points, Deja Vu 14, and Rocco 18, and Yutsuki 16. And if we have to say a little bit about Yutsuki, he's sitting in Japan, middle of the night, been awake almost 20 hours now, just to be here at the World Championship. But they're already in race number 3 in a few seconds. Alec, you have a small comment before we go into the next race?
Yeah, just that he's our first Asian player in a World Championship final, and it's welcome to him, and it's fantastic to see.
And Alec, race number 3 is on. We're going into the Laser, a very agile boat with a wind shadow of 28 meters in this game. And this boat is the boat you can see they can turn on a plate. So maybe we'll see a lot of penalties here. Also, we have a very small starting line in this race. Let's just have the 1 minute warning is coming up here. They're going to sail long upwind this time with 20 knots of wind speed. And the classic upwind downwind format, 4 legs in total in Taranto, Italy. So Alec, this is going to be quite exciting.
Yes, it is. And especially with a short start line, a lot of these guys like to try what we call a downwind start, which obviously you would never get in real sailing, where you sail across the line the wrong way and then cross it just as the clock hits sort of -1. But I wonder if we're going to see that now. Some of them might be getting, especially the Italian, is getting into position now to do that. So you'll be able to watch what I was talking about. A few penalties handed out already, and the clock is now go. And quite a few of them over the line early, quite a few of them picking up penalties, but the majority seeming to want to go to the left side.
Yeah, but see how they're battling here to the right-hand side. It's Ramon. He's on the outside. He's a little bit in trouble. Then he has Rock with him coming in here, Rocco, and then he has Azir. And they're going to the right-hand side, and they try to do what we call the downwind start, or the penalty start in this case. And Alec, a penalty start is not always good for a player, especially in this level, because then they know what happens. But it manages all three players to sneak away from the fleet, because next player coming up in the middle is Chico Pimello.
Yeah, there he is. Chico Pimello, going well at the moment, 28 years old, and he was first in the playoffs this year, so he is on form, and he's definitely one to beat. But can he pull out, can he pull out those skills when it really matters?
Yeah, can he pull out? But it's a long way. See, it's a long upwind. See, very long distance upway right now. We can still see the guys out here. Ramon fighting with Rock, and Ramon, he's continue his path because he can first tag now when Rocco came away. Tristan going into the middle, but Ramon, he might be in the best position right now, because when Tristan and Rocco are attacking upwind, they will actually meet the wall of Ramon Pereiro here. And it's one thing I need to speak about a little bit. See in front of it, it's called CNS. He's one of 6 top players from Club Nautical Sevilla, and the whole family is also part of the Club Nautical Sevilla, and they are all playing eSailing in a very, very high level. Tag up to the right hand side. Let's jump opposite, Alec. Here we have Tim Carpentier, Pepito at the moment.
Yeah, Tim Carpentier over on this left hand side, out on his own. There's a bit of a sort of dark patch of breeze coming in, but I'm not sure he's far enough left for that. He looks in a good position, and done pretty well this season. Second in the Sail GP final.
Mm-hmm. But I have to say, one guy who has placed himself quite strategical right now is Grease 9. He is in a position where if Chico tags in front of him, then he will still survive. So so that's really coming in. And then we can see Grease 9, he has this LDNN behind him, Alec. That's actually a huge eSailing club in Spain, where they made a club, like a real club, sailing club, recognized as a sailing club, just only doing eSailing. And as I remember, Alec, I think it's close to 1,000 members only playing eSailing. Such an amazing thing.
Open to foreign players as well, yeah. Given Grease 9's membership. But Spain is a huge eSailing country, and we're always guaranteed to have a Spanish player or two. We got 2 this time round in the World Championship final. And of course, they were also in the Nations Cup final last year, but didn't quite make it this time round.
But Alec, here we have the action. Chico goes behind Rock and Tristan, and now Grease, Greek 9, he's in trouble. Oh, he just bears away at going behind. And now you see Tristan and Rocco, they're battling each other here. They had this penalty start where they had the advantage, and Ramon, he bears away from them. So right now, because these two guys are battling each other so much, they are actually getting in trouble, because rest of the fleet, with Carlos, with Ramon, with Chico, and with Grease 9, they are actually going into the lead, going in front of them. So it's going to be very crowded when we're approaching the first top mark.
It is, and not long to go to that top mark. Ramon tacks and starts his way up towards that line, and Azir is going to be coming in from this left-hand side as well. And I think Azir may come through this out in front, but it's a tough one to call. But the real fights and the real kind of where we might see some penalties is just behind them in the middle of the fleet, because they're bunching up as they approach this mark. Yeah, Azir in the end, way more advantage than I was expecting, ahead of Ramon.
Yeah, and then it's Grease. Oh, who's coming in? Rocco coming in, but penalty coming up. Grease 9 penalized Rocco. So the first mark battle coming in, Chico coming in. Then we have Pepito, Tim Carpentier get punished behind by Carlos and Arthur Farley. But I have to say, this guy, Arthur Farley. Such high hopes for him, winning almost everything he has been near this year. But see how high level we are. When he is in trouble, this is his third position in the middle of the field, Alec.
Yeah, just want to mention also that incident with Rocco Guerra of Italy, sailing on his home waters, and one of the youngest, if not the youngest player in the fleet. I think showed his a bit of sort of naivety there at that mark. Greece could guessed what he was going to do and got the penalty on him. And I think in that situation, maybe he'd have been better just taking his foot off the gas and letting Greece go past him.
Yeah, and Alec, as like the starboat, the laser don't have a spinnaker, so it looks like the sail is almost going into 90 degrees. There is a wind shadow going almost in front of the boat. Here you see Pepito capturing Rocco, and Rocco is now in trouble. See, he needs to bear away. Pepito 8.9, Rocco 8.6. So they are trying to spread out, as you can see the fleet here, so they're not hitting each other with wind shadow. The same thing the leading pack is doing. And see who's back in the lead. It's Tristan up here, but he's together with Ramon and Grease 9.
This is turning into a really good race with these three leaders really close, some of the best players in the fleet, and it's going to be a difficult one to call, and it may in the end come down to just a mistake or a penalty lost. So Greece just putting in a maneuver there, coming to the left-hand side. Yeah. As they all come down to that far gate closest to us, with Tristan out in front, then Ramon, and then Greece. But so little in it. Penalty.
Triple penalty here. One for Rocco in the start, one for Deja Vu, and one for Carlos Pereiro. And in the end, it was Tim Carpentier just coming in the middle of them. Pepito himself, he just managed to penalize them. But luckily for the other players, this was in the mark rounding, in the gate mark rounding when they're going upwind. So they didn't lose that much of speed. But still, there's now a gap in between the three leaders, and they're going to battle for first, second, and third. And then, Alec, rest of the boat can get 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th. So it's all about the last points they're battling for. And one guy somebody has some high hopes for out there is Deja Vu.
Yep, there he is. But right now he's got it all to do to try and work his way back up the fleet. But you know, we've seen Deja Vu struggle in a few of these big regattas, and he struggled early on, but he's always got that fighting spirit that brings him back into the race. And it wouldn't surprise me that come the medal race, he is still challenging for the championship.
Yeah, and Chico Pimelo, he's quite a surprise also this year. Deja Vu and Chico was part of the group we call the Fighters. And Chico, we haven't seen him for a long time doing anything in eSailing. He has been out sailing. He's working in the sailing and yachting industry, so he didn't have time. But then he came home and played a lot. And suddenly there was a World Championship. He has time for it, and then he fought his way into it. But see, Alec, the battle here. Tristan and Ramon, both of them former eSailing Vice World Champion. So will it be Ramon or will it be Asir? Tristan winning this race. They are very tight, but while they're doing this, Chico, he can sneak up around them and win the race.
Yeah, that's going to be a fascinating battle if they are still in that position, if they're still so close. But what about this for an idea then? Those two are going to be so busy in that final downwind leg, so busy fighting each other that we're going to see, Grease 9, Vit Farley, Chico Pimelo working their way back up and maybe stealing the win from them. We shall see.
Yeah, and now you can see Deja Vu is not last anymore. It's now Carlos Pereiro dropping down. So good comeback, both by him, but also another guy doing a great comeback. A guy we just, I have to say, talked a little about. He was in the middle of the fleet. He was 7 last time. Now he's in 4th position, Alec. So great comeback by the youngster.
Yeah. Another fight back from him. I mean, he's a real fighter, and I think in the early days, I remember a year or two ago, he would get quite sort of wound up and lost his focus when he was competing. But you know, he's a little bit older now. He's a little bit more experienced, and we've seen a much steadier, more focused Vit Farley this season.
Yeah, and then we can see Farley tacks away to the right-hand side. Chico goes into the lead at the moment, but Tristan is coming from the inside, and now we have two rules in the game, Alec. When we come to this mark rounding zone, we haven't spoke about it. See this round area around the mark. If you're coming from port side, like we're seeing Tristan is doing right now, he has the rule of the inside turn. But if a boat like Chico enters the zone from starboard, then he has to ride away. So let's see how close they are. Chico, Asir. Oh, Asir just managed to do it. Great work by him. Chico coming in. Farley now in third. Grease 9 needs to bear away, not getting a penalty and drop down. And Ramon drops to fourth. And then Yutsugi penalty to Japan at this moment. So hitting the mark, trying to avoid getting a penalty. And then behind, Carlos Pereiro coming in last year. But let's jump to the leaders. That's where the battle is going to be. This is the battle for the victory, Alec. Chico P. Mello against Tristan. And then we have Farley also come back in it.
This is the battle for victory. And now Tristan has got he's got what, 44 meters on Chico Pimello and Vit Farley. And so my prediction about them getting into a tussle and losing out to those coming from behind, that prediction was completely wrong, as there is sailing towards the finish line. And I think over on that far side, who have we got? It's Chico Pimello of Portugal, and he's looking really dangerous as far as Azair is concerned. The others, well, they're not in the running at the moment to win this race.
But see the wind speed, Alec. See the wind speed. Tristan, 10 knots. Chico, 11 knots. Chico is a better wind pressure, and there's no wind shadow. This is a race. This is a race for the finish line. Will Chico come in front of Tristan, or will Tristan go and attack him? This is the battle. This is how it's going to be. This is the World Championship. And see, Asir losing it right now.
Azir is losing it, and I don't see him coming back. If he comes over to attack, he has got room, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's moving up. He's coming over to this right-hand side. He's going to take on Chico Pimello, who reacts and picks up the penalty, and it's happened again. Azir goes through in the final few meters to win the race. Second time in this regatta.
Yeah, he just times it, and then we go for the next position. Third position coming in. Greece, Ramon, it's Farley taking third. Oh, Greek Knight gets a penalty. Deschavou takes fourth. Whoa! The World Championship is on. And now we're coming in for the last position. Carlos can't come back. Then Yutsugi after that penalty at the top, coming back in the race. Rock coming in. Then Pepito comes in. And Carlos Pereiro taking the last one. But just a battle, huh, Alec?
Wow.
Yeah. But let's just see here. Tristan winning his second race of tonight. This time in the laser. Chico Pimello, second place. Farley getting third. Deschavou fourth. Ramon fifth. Grease 9, 6. Yutsugi 7. Rock comes in 8. Pepito 9. Carlos Pereiro 10th. And watching the stats of this race, we can see Farley had the best start. We saw these penalty starts where Farley, Tristan and Ramon and Rock went to one side. Then we saw Deschavou has the best average speed. Tristan, maximum speed, and he also sailed the shortest distance. But he was so close of losing it in the last leg and just in front of the finish line, because Chico had the best wind speed. But I have to say, Tristan, he knows a lot about these penalties. And then he just got aggressive and went out to Chico. But I have to say, Chico, he was in fourth position, and now he took that second. So great race by all of them, Alec. And before we're going back to studio, Alec, let's just hear one more time from some of the other players how proud they are to be part of this World Championship.
I don't know, I feel blessed to be able to race in the grand finale with all these top players. It's such a good opportunity for the world title, but also the big prize.
It was a huge effort. It was not easy.
It's a great event, and yeah, very glad to be in the finals. And let's see how it goes.
I am very happy to be in the final.
And I'm very proud because I think the 10 best sailors in the world are in the final, and I am expecting to do a great race, and I will give all.
So in the grand final, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great event, good showing of all the best players in the world, and yeah, I hope to be able to win. It should be the hardest regatta of the year.
Wow. I just had a quick look as you were watching those interviews. I had a quick look at the overall leaderboard, and Azair, he'd slipped to second, but he's back up, as you probably guessed, into top overall. But what about Vit Farley in second? 3 points behind. He can't afford to be out of the top three, really, if he wants to stay in touch with Azair.
Yeah, but Alec, remember, after next race, race number 4, we'll have a discard. And this discard will remove the worst result they have. So Azir will go to 2 points if he 3 points if he continue winning tonight. Farley, he will actually go to 8, and then Chico will go to 5. Carlos Pereira will go to 4. So everything will change after the next race, so it's all open. But Alec, let's just speak a little bit about, before we're going into the J17 in Aarhus, let's speak about the young guns. The 3 young guys coming in. We know there's one young gun that's not in this case, but here we have Tim Carpentier.
That's right, 20-year-old from Montpellier, second in the eSail GP final this year. That is a really fast boat, and we're going to see the F50 later on. Carlos Parejo, one of our 3 teenagers in the field here tonight, and yeah, I mean, he hasn't quite hit that top performance yet tonight, but he's definitely one to keep an eye out for. And Rocco Guerra, who is struggling at the moment, he's young, he's not as experienced as some of the other youngsters in the fleet, and I think we've seen that on a few of the moves.
And Alec, we're just taking our race to race number 4, medium upwind, so not as long this time, in the J boat in Aarhus. Then we have 18 knots of wind. So these players have quite a battle coming up right now.
Yeah, so we're on the waters of Aarhus, not far from you, Thomas, in the J70. And, we talk a lot about the downwind leg and wind shadow. Well, this is another boat in which it's quite significant, and in which the downwind leg is where you can win or lose the races. So 25 seconds to go as we focus in on the Italian, who really needs to start performing if he wants to have any chance in the medal race.
Yeah, and see a clear start this time. They're fighting to be at the committee boat right now. The wind bias is coming from right-hand side, so they need to go to the left. Oh, one guy doing what we call a penalty start. That's Deschevaux. Penalties behind. But see, Tristan, he's battling for the outside here. He knows what Deschevaux is doing. He's not allowing it. Oh, Deschevaux mistypes it. Oh, false start, Mike O'Donovan. He's going behind in 10th. So, in the lead, it's 2 French guys. It's Pepito and it's Azir. So how will that go?
That, boys and girls, is what can happen when you get that sort of start wrong. When it goes wrong, it really goes wrong, and you make a complete hash of it, and there you are in 10th place. Anyway, out at the other end, we've got really close, of course, in these early stages, Farley, Yatsuki, and Grease 9. Now, Grease 9, we've seen him fight. We've seen him up there challenging, and he's doing pretty well overall, sitting kind of middle of the fleet. But he needs to start getting results. The 42-year-old from Thessaloniki, he really needs to start taking these good positions that he has early on in the race and turning them into victories.
But Alec, Greece 9 is in a very good position this race. He is in the middle of fleet. They're doing a starboard tack. They're going to the left-hand side. And none of the boats, Rock, Yutsuki, Farley or Chico, can go up in front of Greece 9. But he is in trouble because just here beside him, we have another player. There's also in a good position, Ramon, former Vice World Champion. We haven't seen much to him. Last year, he did like what Tristan is doing right now, winning a couple of races, losing one, and then when we came to the middle race, everything changed. But Tristan and Ramon is the two only ones that's been in the top of the eSailing World Championship before. Vice World Champions, both of them.
And those of you who follow eSailing know that the Parejos are a dynasty of eSailers. We were just debating earlier on before coming on air. We were trying to work out how many of them there are playing eSailing, and I think we could think of 5, couldn't we?
Yeah, 5 in total there are, and some of them are brothers, some of them are cousins, but they're all from Seville and part of Club Nautical Sevillas. So Tristan and Pepito, see how fantastic upwind leg both of them been doing. The 2 Frenchmen sneaking away from everything, and I have to say, this is amazing job by them. These 2 are going to battle for the victory of this race, but who will get second and third? Because now we're coming into the race where we'll have a discard afterwards. So a bad position in this race, or if you get a bad position, then you will have a really hard chance because then you will get discharged with 10 points. Azir coming first. Oh, penalty, Alec! Oh, Azir missed times for the first time for a long time on Mark Rounding, giving Ramon a chance to come back in the race, and also Greece 9, and then Yutsuki. That's a long time since we've seen something to the Japanese sailor. And Alec, do you know quite a small secret with Yutsuki? He's one of the few guys in this game's been practicing together with a guy, another Japanese guy called KGR, sailing this game without any race helps. So they know this game in and out, but it's the first time they are in a final like this. So amazing to see how he will perform.
That is significant, and I know he has huge respect from the eSailing community for the fact that he doesn't use the race helps. He you know, like just gets on his boat and sails. But hey, we've got a battle of the French going on at the front of the fleet here, and this is going to be interesting. They're obviously mates. They're obviously trained together. They compete together in the Nations Cup, and right now they are fighting for the lead.
Yeah, and I have to say one thing. This is a fight both between 2 French guys that know each other quite well, but it's also a fight in between 2 esports organizations. Unicorns of Love, based in Hamburg, and then MCS France, based in Marseille. Both of them going into eSailing and sports games and doing a great job to grow these games. So thank you for that. But here they are tonight presenting themselves and their countries, and Ramon, he's back in the race. Greece 9 in 4th, good position. But Alec, see a huge gap there to the next players? Chico, Farley, Yutsuki, Deja-vu, and then behind right now, Carlos Pereiro. So there are some nerves at the moment in the game. Penalty in the roundings. It's for Yutsuki. He got caught inside. Chico following him. Deja-vu coming up, but it's the battle we want to follow. Let's just follow it from Farley's view while we're going upwind. See, Farley, Alec, is in 5th, 86 meters behind Tristan.
French and Ramon, the 3 of them are sort of in a bit of a match race there on that right. We can just see it in the middle of the screen with the pink sail at the front of the boat. They're crossing each other, but at the moment, Azir has the advantage. Here's Ramon Perejo, closest to us.
Yeah, and Alec, it's quite amazing because Ramon, he chose to go to the right-hand side, tack early, ports tack here, and Tristan and the rest of the fleet going to the left-hand side. So he was in 3rd, close to the others when they got downwind. But you can almost see with your eyes here how far away Ramon is from rest of the fleet. He might drop to 5th, I think. And then this guy, a very routine sailor, Yanis, Greece 9, is coming back in top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we were saying earlier, wasn't it? He was out in front in the first upwind leg, and here he is now in fourth. He might be in third though. I think he will be. There we go. Computer confirms that. So he'll be rounding that top mark in third, but it's really close between the Greek and the Spaniard, Ramon, for third and fourth. And the Japanese, Yutsuki, despite that penalty at the bottom mark, is coming back into it. And here we go for the final time. Top mark, as they're out in front. What's the advantage? It's almost 25 meters between him and his fellow Frenchman, Pepito. So Azair gets the advantage and sails a better downwind and upwind leg.
Yeah, and then we have Ramon. He managed to get that third place, but see, he lost actually momentum to Azair and Pepito. But luckily for Azair, Ramon, Greece 9, caught up with Pepito. So now Azair, he can sail away, claim another victory if he's not doing it wrong. So let's see how he's doing downwind. It looks good, but hey, Alec, the wind disappears. So it's going to be very slow downwind leg while we are following here Ramon in the downwind leg. So interesting, Greece 9, he can capture Pepito, but Azair, he's also in trouble now.
The lighter winds, they might have to change their strategies. If they were aiming to do a lot of maneuvers on this downwind leg, they'll want to try and minimize those now to not lose speed. But having a look at that course, I wonder if there's anyone really who can catch Azair now, and is he going to win his third race of the night? 60, 70 meters between him and Pepito, and then we've got Ramon in third.
Yeah, and here we saw an interesting choice by Yutsuki in the positions behind. Only one going to the right-hand side in this lighter wind. And see, it liked he won a little bit. There was a little bit more wind pressure out there. He's sailing a little bit slightly different, faster than the others, 0.8. But this is the victory. This is the guys we want to follow. It's Pepito in the lead here. In second, racing with Azair. Azair 9.1, Pepito 8.8. Pepito caught by Ramon and Greece 9. And see, Alec, before we went onto the studio, we had a small discussion with the race officers. These two players, Ramon and Greece 9, they are known maybe as the most fair play-like players in here. And they are playing the young bullies, I have to say. Azair and Pepito using the rules all the way to it. But here, Tristan winning yet a race. This race number 4.
Yeah, Azair then taking his third victory of this final. Pepito in second. Penalty right on. And Ramon.
Yeah, they came in over the finish line at the same time, so we need to have the confirmation afterward, Alec. Here we have Yutsuki coming in, Deja Vu dropping down, Chico P. Mello, Rock coming in. So Rock losing yet again. So it's not a good night for the young Italian, 2 times Italian champion in a row, 2020 and 2021. So confirmation. Azair, Tristan Perron winning race number 1, Pepito second, Ramon in third, Greece 9 in fourth. So it was actually Ramon winning that one, doing the penalty behind Greece 9 and just winning over him in this case. Farley in 5th, Carlos in 6th, Yutsuki in 7th, Deja Vu in 8th, Chico in 9th, and then we have Rock in 10th. Watching the stats, yeah, normally the last couple of months we have been seeing a lot of team races. Today it's all about stats, it's all about sailing, it's fleet races. Here we have Carlos Pereiro, he's with the best start. Tristan, he had the best average speed, but it was Ramon sailing fastest. But the reason why Tristan is winning this one and is close to be world champion if he continues being on fire and win $10,000 also is because he's doing a fantastic job sailing the shortest distance in every race. And see here, he didn't have the best start, Alec. He actually started in position 8, but he had the best upwind leg. And then he was losing to Pepito in the first downwind leg, but then he won over Pepito in the second upwind leg and claimed the victory. Ramon, he kept himself in the middle all the time. And then you can see another player actually fighting his way back, actually doing a great race. That was Carlos. He started first, then he got a penalty drop to last and battling his way up to position 6. But Alec, before we go into studio and all that, let's hear which boat is the favorite boat of the sailors.
I think it's G70.
My favorite boat is actually J70.
My favorite boat has got to be the J70.
So I feel comfortable in 49er and J70 as well.
So my favorite boat in the game is probably Nacra.
I think that my favorite boat is the F50.
My favorite photo is J70.
My favorite boat or boats in the game are all multi-hulls because I was an athlete in multi-hulls in real life. In tornado class, when tornado class was in Olympic category.
I quite like the Nacras. I really like how you can carry a lot of speed through maneuvers.
Well, I think I am good in Nacra, and J70 is always a good boat for me because it's more important to have a good strategy.
And Alec, here we have the score coming up. The discard has come in, and it looks crazy when a discard comes in. Azir way ahead in the lead in this eSailing World Championship 2021.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's a 7-point lead from Carlos Parejo. And Greece 9 now sitting in third. So a good kind of fourth place finish in that race for him. And, you know, for those who are at home thinking, well, a 7-point lead halfway through the regatta, Azir's got to have this. Two things to remember. One, that it's double points in the medal race. And two, we've kind of seen this all before, just a year ago, when Ramon was also out in front and then didn't win the World Championship because of his performance in the medal race.
Yeah, and we heard we just had the favorite boat of Azir, and we're only going to have that one more time, the favorite boat. And now we're going to speed up a little bit, Alec. Let's go in game. We're going to have the 49er coming up. It's the 49er, Alec. Yeah, it's the 49er. They're going to speed up and just to check the format, they're going to do a long upwind leg here in race number 5. There's going to be a lot of wind pressure. They're going to have 21 knots of wind. So they're going to have a fast speed leg. And Alec, this boat is known for being the boat you're winning upwind and losing downwind. Because if you're reading the wind conditions wrong downwind, you lose big time. And if you're reading them right upwind, you can win 20 to 30 meters. So who will be the best of doing this?
Well, in traditional keel fashion, it's on that northern German coast, and it is very puffy, very windy, and we're seeing a very windy race here. Look at the dark patches on the water. But what are they trying to do right now? They want to start at this committee boat end. The majority of the fleet has obviously decided that this is the best place to be. There's someone at the pin end as
the penalty starts
there with just a few seconds to go. Someone, I think one of the Spanish, staying clear at the pin end of the line. But it's a penalty for Carlos Parejo over here on this right-hand side. Yeah. And just watch that speed as they accelerate away.
Yeah, and it's actually a very good start for Déjà Vu for the first time of tonight. Winning this start, Rocco going behind, Yutsuki coming in, Déjà Vu in control, and see, this is not Tristan's favorite boat. Dropping down. Ramon needs to bear away from Déjà Vu. Pepito needs to bear away from Tristan. Grease 9 needs to bear away from everybody. But Déjà Vu are in the lead. But now it's interesting what happening up here. Ramon, he might take the lead at the moment because he's reading the wind pressure quite well. See in the middle patch, Alec. Dark wind pressure, high wind speed, and the wind condition is coming from the left-hand side. So he's speeding up. 11.8. See, 11.4 in the middle, so he's getting speed into the boat.
Yes, he is, and he's nicely placed for that top mark as well. So we're at the halfway stage of this regatta. It's the 49er being raced in Kiel. We've still got an F50 race, a laser race, and then the double points medal race in the J70. Ramon Parejo is the man to catch at the moment in this race. Ramon, who did so well in the World Championship final last year, but then ended up getting nothing. Can he turn that around? It's a tough ask, given how good a form Azair is in right now.
But Azair is in a very bad position, Alec, in this first upwind leg. Remember I said you're winning this boat upwind. He's in 4th according to server, but when he tacks up, all the other boats come from starboard. So we will see Déjà Vu going a little bit early, rest of the fleet going a little bit early. So it's going to be very crowded. Let's see how this happens. Ramon first, taking the lead. Pepito second, Déjà Vu 4th. Azair finds some space, but he's caught on the outside. Oh, he defends in front of Yutsugi. Yutsugi getting that penalty by Azair. That's well played by Azair because he was so close of being caught about an inside penalty. So let's see here. Tristan in 4th, Carlos Pereiro speeding up. That's going to be a close one when they're going downwind. No, they keep distant, but Tristan bears away. So see, he's splitting, Alec.
Yes, he has. He's gone over to that left-hand side. Maybe he's spotted something or decided that he has to keep away from the pack. Ramon Parejo in the center of the course here.
Yeah, and now you can see the other players are going in to pressure Ramon because in the 49, it's all about position. It's all about being ready to do a leeward, windward penalty here. And then you can also see that when they're approaching this gate mark, it's all about being on the inside of the gate mark. There are two things when you're coming to the gate mark. The favorite side to round, if you are really geeky in this game, is the side where the ley line zones are smallest. So this side we are in now is the favorite side. Oh, penalty just behind us to Carlos, made by Tristan. Déjà Vu coming in. So they're all going to this side because or else they will lose around 20 meters. Yutsugi with another penalty dropping down in this case. Let's follow Carlos Pereira a little bit upwind.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to pick up a penalty, then at the first bottom mark is the place to do it, which is why we saw all those penalties just then. Yutsuki's still paying for his penalty. That's now been cleared. So we'll see him accelerate and try and make his way up the fleet. So Carlos Parejo, 19 years old from Sevilla. But it's this Spaniard who they are chasing, Ramon, who is now just slowly beginning to edge a lead from the second place Pepito and Déjà Vu. For the first time, I think, we're seeing him in the top 3 in one of these races.
But it's going to be a very close one, Alec, because Pepito, he's going to be close to Ramon, but he cannot touch Ramon. But Azair, Déjà Vu, and Pepito, they are going to have a huge battle. Let's just following from Pepito's view, because Ramon, he's long gone. If he's not doing a wrong downwind leg, then he will win this race number 5. And take another point to the account. And that's a very important point to him because he has not been performing well today. But Pepito in second, Tim Carpentier, this is very important. Déjà Vu needs to do a double tag and then suddenly Azair will come in. So this is a very important battle, Alex. See, Pepito coming in, Déjà Vu just go in front of Azair. It's going to be a close one. Déjà Vu defends it, but Azair will definitely attack him. Then there's a huge gap to Chico, Farley, Carlos, and then Grease 9, and then Rocco and Yutsugi. And it's like there's a huge difference in between the levels of the players today. But because here we have Tristan, we have Déjà Vu, we have Pepito, and we have Ramon up there. And let's talk a little bit more about them after the race, Alec. But here let's follow Déjà Vu. This is his best result of the night.
Yes, it is. As we head towards the finish line, he is now 50 meters behind Pepito. So it's he could still take that second place, but it's a tough ask. He's now in a fight with Azair, who's trying to come up and take that third place from him. And Vit Farley also making his way up, but out of the running to make it into the top 5. So out in front, Ramon Pereiro, he's going to take this victory surely. Pepito in second place, and a really good fight happening for third and fourth. between Deja Vu and Azair.
But luckily for Deja Vu, Chico, he's coming close to Azair and can penalize him, attack him. And Chico would do everything to get some more points on the account, because overall he's 7. And the middle group, there's 3 points in between second place and 7th place. So these points are very important. The race is going to the finish line, Alec. Who will take it? Deja Vu takes it. Azair 4th, Chico 5th, and now Carlos 6, Farley 7, Grease 9 is coming in 8, Rock in 9th, and Yutsuki takes 10. So confirmation of this race number 5 in the 49er. Ramon Pereira winning it. And he's back on track, Alec. The Vice World Champion 2020. Pepito in 2nd, Deja Vu in 3rd. Tristan getting 4 points. And that's actually opening up the whole game yet again. Chico 5th, then we have Carlos in 6th, Farley in 7th, Grease 9 in 8th, Rock in 9th, and Yutsuki in 10. And that's also giving us the mathematics that some of the players might be already out of the championship in the score, but can only battle for the honor. But let's see here. Best start for Pepito, best average speed Pepito, maximum speed Yutsuki. But Ramon, he sailed the shortest distance. That was the upwind leg, Alec. That made him win this race. And we can also see the first upwind leg. He secured the lead and he kept the lead. But again, see Deja Vu, how he actually managed to fight back. Terrible start, starting in 9th position. Then moving up to 3rd, getting a penalty, dropping to 5th, and moving up to 3rd again. So Deja Vu actually been doing a very, very great fight after this race number 5. And Alec, it's quite amazing what's going to happen, because if they continue playing in this level here, then we will have a lot of action. But the next race we're coming in, Alec, there will be a lot of action. Let's just see a small commercial for which type of boat we're going to race.
It's time to head back to Sydney, the place where it all began, for the penultimate event.
There we go on the gun. Very late to manoeuvre, and he's collided with the US crew.
With only 2 events remaining, it's all on the line and every point counts.
And they're flying too high.
Join us in Sydney for the Australia Sail Grand Prix, presented by KPMG.
Alec, the score is here.
There we have it.
Yeah.
So Azair is still out in front. He's lost a point though, and Ramon, our sort of our vice champion from last year, makes it up into 2nd place. The man who was going to win it, remember, going into the medal race a year ago, is now into 2nd place. But Pepito, so it's France, Spain in the top 4.
But there's also 2 great nations in there. But if we're going into to the eSailing Nations Cup, it's actually France and Great Britain meeting tomorrow. But it could have been Spain and France meeting up tomorrow, or Italy, because those 4 nations are in such a level. But if we're watching this score, it looks a little bit dark for Yutsuki and Rock. It's like they outplayed their performance tonight, both of them taking 7 to 10 positions all night. So it looks hard for them. But rest of the players, still a good chance to come in and being the next world champion. Alec, we're going to talk before we're starting next race. We have made a small collection of who the community thought was the favorites before going into this world championship. And here is what the community, the players think, who will be the next world champion. The first is Tristan.
Well, we've spoken a lot about him already, haven't we? The lad from Rennes. He performed really well in the World Championships in Bermuda 2 years ago. He didn't come out with the title then, but he is in fine form. Arthur Farley, so far tonight, has not really performed to his top level. He can do better. Can he pull it back with, 2 races and a medal race to go? And then Ramon Perejo, who's currently sitting in second. And again, we've spoken a lot about him. And the great thing about Ramon is he is known throughout the community for being a real fair play player and well respected for that.
And here we have it, Alec. The race number 6, the EF50. And here's the 1 minute warning. We're going to have a reaching start. And as you can see in the graphic, it's going to be speeded up. 4 legs in total, actually. It's not 4. We also have 6 legs because we have the reaching mark also. So the players coming in, and they love this boat. They have been doing this boat again and again and again. And in the Nations Cup, we are going to see tomorrow, we've seen a lot of battles, a lot of dramatic battles in this game. So very, very crazy what's going to happen here.
Yes, don't blink, folks, or you will miss it. This race will be over in just a few minutes because it is fast and it is furious, and it is being raced in the shadow of the Golden Gate Bridge of San Francisco. 15 seconds to go, and now they begin their approach to the start line. They're powering up, they're catching the wind in those huge wing sails, and they will be hitting maximum speed as they cross the start line.
Yeah, and just while we're saying that, Tristan gets a penalty. Ramon, was that a false start? No, it wasn't, but Tristan in 9th. We have a repeat of the eSailing World Championship 2020. This is all opening up. Ramon on the inside gets a penalty by Carlos. So family, there's no family and friends in this case. They are battling each other, going downwind. It's Rocco in the lead right now. Great start by him. They're coming to the first downwind gate mark. Rocco in the lead.
I was just laughing at the way you've managed to side off Tristan, and he's already back up into 5th place. So not the best of starts for the Frenchman, but he's already back in the running. Out in front, Rocco. First time we've seen him leading a race tonight. Carlos is second, then comes Vic Farley. And it's all about doing as few manoeuvres as possible, and certainly trying to pick up no penalties at all in this boat, because the others are running. Penalty there on Rocco, and that's goodbye to the Italian, I think, and his lead in this race. So Carlos goes out in front. Pepito is trying to move up into 2nd place. And I was saying that, yeah, you want to try and minimize your penalties and maneuvers, because everyone else is going so fast they'll just whisk past you. Although that isn't the case with Rocco here.
No, and also every time you do attack in this boat, then I have to say as it is, then you lose 11 to 17 knots of speed. And let's just go to Rocco, then you can see it. And it takes 11 seconds to hit maximum speed. Right now he's in the lead, but he will drop 1 or 2 positions when he tacks. Let's see here, the tack coming in. You can see going to the boundary, 17 knots of speed. And now you can count to 11 before he speeds up. So that's giving Tim Carpentier, Carlos Pereiro all the time, and also Farley coming in, taking, he's back in the race. So 3 players, almost 4 players coming in front of Rocco because of 1 tack. And this is just how it is in the EF50. Deja vu coming back.
Remember, they can't cross those boundaries, those white lines. They can't go over them, or they pick up a penalty. They've got to try and keep inside the real battle now here. A bit of a race, a bit of a match race going on from Vic Farley and Pepito of France for 2nd and 3rd. Carlos out on that far side, out in the lead. But will he be in the lead for much longer? No, he won't, because the others are coming into that mark. And they are going to go round it really close. The 2 Brits coming in now, and a battle between Pepito and Deja Vu. And Pepito comes out in front. Deja Vu going out wide up the opposite side.
Yeah, and see here, Alec, Tristan back in 8th position. But luckily for him, in front of him, just in front of him in 6th, we have Ramon. So they are battling for all points. Ramon have to ride away, almost penalizing Carlos back here. Deja Vu in trouble. And this is just the EF50. This just shows how fast it can move around. Farley in the lead. One small mistake in this upwind leg and you're out of the race. Chico, he's in second. Pepito in third. Ramon in fourth. Deja Vu in fifth. So, will they come back in the race? And you will see Deja Vu. He will soon get a penalty maybe. See Tristan coming in the right position. Deja Vu in trouble. Oh, Tristan plays it fair, but Deja Vu hits him and gets a penalty. So Tristan winning another position, but see who won 2 positions in this tag. Ramon. So we have a battle there, Alec. There's only 5 points in between them. There's 2 more races left. So this World Championship is not over yet.
It's not. Suki, who's chosen to go all the way out to the right-hand side early on, and I was wondering whether that had paid off, but the others have now come in front of him, and Vit Farley is out in front, the Briton in the best position he's been in all night, Chico Pimello in second, so a real shuffling of the pack on the last couple of legs, as Tristan and Pepito and Rocco fall down to the middle of the fleet.
And this is a very important battle because Pepito, Chico, they are in position where they have to ride away. So Ramon and Carlos are in trouble and can get a penalty. But we also have another battle. See, Ramon goes in. He needs to pressure him. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, he's pushed outside. So, as foreseen, here we have the Paparos battling with Pepito. It's important points. Who's winning it? Ramon speeds up. He's on the inside. Ramon takes an extra point on Tristan. Tristan in 6th, Ramon in 3rd, it looks like. So, great winning. All points counts, Alec. Then we have Grease Knight and yet again, Yutsuki, not his night tonight, dropping down in the next positions here. And we can see here a victory for Farley. 2nd place to Chico. Ramon takes that important 3rd place. Remember, there was 5 points in between Ramon and Tristan. Now there's 2. Pepito in 4th, Carlos in 5th, Tristan in 6th, Rock in 7th, Deja Vu in 8th, Grease 9 dropping down to 9th, Yutsuki 10 points. Stats, best start for Ramon. Farley had the best speed. Chico did the best racing, shortest races. But when we are watching in here, see how they have been switching positions all the time. It has been a really battle, a hard fight. If this was a real Sail GP race, the commentators had been laying on the floor, couldn't breathe because both switching positions so much in this race. And Ramon, he was all the way down to the 8th position, ending up 3rd. Tristan was in 8th position, ending up 6th. Farley was in 4th position, ending up winning. So fantastic race by them. But Alec, before we go into studio yet again, let's just hear from the players who they think will be the next world champion.
I think that I will do my best and I really trying to take this place.
I think I will be the world champion because last year I could win in the last race. So I think this year is my turn.
Will I be the next world champion? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I feel very well to get in the final. It was my goal in this season and compete with all these great sailors.
I am not good enough yet, but I will be in the 3rd place.
I hope so. That's the aim at least. I gave it a good dash last year, couldn't quite get it. So I'll see if I can get slightly better this year.
I'm going to be the next World Championship, maybe, but I don't know. But I want to do all the things I can.
Let's see. I don't know. The fleet is really strong. I think my bet could be going to Pepito.
Our players already qualified. Are really top sailor. Will be a dream to win, but I know it will be difficult, and everyone will have chance to win.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be the next eSailing World Champion. It would be an honour to be, and the title's really nice.
Whoa, Alec. Such a close race we're having on here today. The score.
Yeah, and hasn't that lead dropped to just 3 points now between Azair and Ramon? Pepito still in third, but Vit Farley's moved up significantly into fourth thanks to that victory, which just goes to show, we keep saying, every race counts, every position counts. Well, that's proof that it does, because these players, just by moving up, and getting a victory or getting a podium finish, are jumping up the leaderboard overall. So wide open at the moment with one race before the medal race to go.
Yeah, and Alec, just to do the mathematics, right now as it looks, everybody from position 6 to position 1 can be the world champion. Even position 8 can do it. And Alec, now we go back to the laser. We go back to the laser in this race number 7 before the middle race. And let's have the 1 minute warning. This time it's only medium. Last time was long wind up a lake. So this time they're sailing half the length that they did last time. So the action will come straight away. So the players need to be ready to battling each other from the start. So let's get ready. Let's see how they do. It's a small battle between Azir, between Ramon, and then I have to say Pepito, Farley, Chico, Carlos Pereiro, Grease 9 and Mike O'Donovan. All of them, Alec, has a chance to be the world champion.
Yeah, absolutely they do. But I've got to say that some have got a better chance than others. And I think really, apart from Azair and Ramon, we're looking at Pepito, Farley, Chico and maybe Carlos for a podium finish as well. But let's focus on this laser race in Portsmouth in the UK right now on the south coast of England as they get away with penalties for 3 boats. And Rocco getting a bad start there.
Alex,
Someone's got stuck on the committee boat.
Pepito, Carlos, terrible start. Rock, terrible start. Yutsuki, Ramon, he survived. He just saved himself. But Pepito takes himself almost out of the race by that terrible start. I know it's saying he's in 4th, but that's the server making fun of us. But let's see how it's going. Grease 9 going to the left-hand side. We have him here at the moment. But Alec, this World Championship keeps on giving.
Yes, it does. And wait till we get to the double points medal race, and then we'll all need our calculators out because this is so close. Now, where's our overall leader? Leading this final qualification race. It's Tristan Perron. Azair is his racing name. He's out in front, but it's really close. Chico Pimelo, Ramon, and Deja Vu all hunting him down.
Yeah, but again, he is in trouble, Alec. Ramon is with him here. He's going to be close to him. Chico and Deja Vu, they are battling here. If they're not battling each other, but focusing on Azir, then they have a chance to be a world champion also. So I have to say, right now it's everybody against Azir. And I don't know, it's a game of catch where there's one guy you need to catch. But if rest of the fleet manage to catch Azir in this case, then this World Championship is all open. But as long as Ramon, now he's dropping to 8, but keeping himself in 2nd, and Pepito keeps himself in 3rd, and Arthur maybe in 3rd and 4th, then the middle race will decide everything.
With that leading group.
Yeah, it's all about being with that leading group, Alec, as you said. But here we can see Deja Vu, Chico, and Farley battling it out. And Farley, it's not very good position where he is. He's coming here. He's a little bit in trouble. He's caught in middle of everybody. And I know he's normally sailing, as I remember, a laser in the senior class also, and doing quite well in real life. But but here you can see Chico now in the lead. Tristan drops to second, Farley in third. So it's all about this. Déjà Vu in fourth. So who will go up as the leader? And then it looks very dark for Ramon yet again. He drops down. So these 4 players up here are going to battle for the first downwind lead.
I wonder how many penalties we're going to see at this top mark, because it's going to be a really busy mark rounding for the leaders as Chico Pimello approaches in the lead, and he'll want to try and get every meter will keep him clear of the rest, and that is vital to avoid penalties. Déjà Vu coming in as well, and there, ready to pounce, is Azaire, Tristan Perron.
Yeah, but he's in fourth, Alec, and right now only 1 position in front of Ramon. So everything is open, and Chico, he's doing everything to come back in this World Championship. Déjà Vu, he's fighting for the last step. So Déjà Vu coming first, but it's Chico in the lead. Chico rounding it here. He's in the lead. Déjà Vu in second, so close. Farley coming in. Rocker penalty hits Farley in this case. Then Tristan, Grease 9, Carlos Pereira. Where's Ramon? No, Ramon is in 9th. No, he's in 10th. Ramon is the last player right now. So this is going to be wild, the medal race. If this stands, then suddenly it's both Tristan, Ramon, Pepito, Farley, Chico. There can be the world champion. So here coming up, penalty Grease 9 and penalty to Rock. Sorry, Alec, I'm just getting caught by excitement at the moment.
I hadn't noticed, Thomas. Ramon in 9th place. That's the man to keep an eye on, because he is the nearest challenger to our overall leader, Tristan. Right, downwind we go, halfway down the first downwind leg, and that's where the breeze is, in the middle of the course. That's exactly where they're sailing. The wind shadow in the laser, not that much of an effect in eSailing. But it's Chico Pimello trying to stay away from Déjà Vu, who is trying to affect him with his dirty air.
Yeah, and now we can see they're spreading out. They don't want to get caught. Tristan, he's caught by 3 boats. 3 against 1. So Rock we're seeing here, and Arthur Farley in the opposite. Oh, while we're seeing that, let's see the battle up here. There's a dance. Jibe battle, Alec. Coming in here, the dances of the jibes. Chico Pimello versus Déjà Vu. Important battle for important points.
Yeah, and he was. There we go. So Déjà Vu picks up the penalty, and Chico Pimello goes out and tries and now uses that penalty to his advantage to try and pull away and claw away meters from the Brit.
Yeah, and then Farley with a penalty hitting the mark. Unforced penalty by Arthur Farley, pressuring in all the way to the limits. Another penalty hitting Rock. 2 unforced penalty by Arthur Farley. It looks so good, and now it looks so bad. And in the opposite side, see who's coming back in the race, Alec. He's called Ramon Pereira. He's from Seville. This race continues giving and giving. It's not over yet.
Ramon Pereira up to 5th now from the back of the fleet. He's the man challenging our overall leader. And where is Tristan? Well, he's now down to 8th. So Ramon has the advantage. And we'll start doing the maths on the final downwind leg to see if there's a change at the top of the leaderboard. But right now we're looking at Arthur Farley, and there's Grease 9 in the middle, sitting in 5th.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. We're waiting. This is almost a quiet before the storm. Ramon dropping down. He took a chance, Alec. Yet again took a chance. Went to the right-hand side. But see, it looks like he's sailing further away from the other skippers. This is giving Chico a huge chance of getting 1 point and a victory. Déjà Vu, he might be very satisfied of getting this 2nd place. He's in direct battle with Chico. Yutsuki coming in, and then where's Tristan? See, Azaire, Tristan, Alec, what's happening? He's dropping to 9th position, the overall leader. This is crazy, Alec. Crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah, but look where, like his nearest challengers, Pepito's just ahead of him. Ramon is only in 6th. So they're really missing a chance to take an advantage and get ahead of him in the overall leaderboard. Because Ramon Pereiro was 2nd, Pepito was 3rd. Now, Vit Farley, he's sitting in 4th. He's 4th overall and 4th in this race. But if he could only just move up a few positions, that'll really help him going into the double points medal race next.
Yeah, and one thing we need to be aware of, they have this discard, and the discard also counts in the next race, but not in the middle race. This means if Azir gets 9th or 8th, he will get 7 points, because 9th or 8th will be the worst position he has. So he will only have 7 points. So Ramon right now only winning 3 points. That will square the score. So right now, Tristan and Ramon are squared with score. Chico winning this one. That's around 6 points in front of Tristan, putting him, I have to say, Alec, in the lead. He might be in the lead after this race. So, Alec, the World Championship in eSailing that keeps giving and giving. This is very, very exciting. Deja Vu in 2nd, and then we have to give some credits to this young lad, Chico Pimelo, racing downwind. He will take the victory of this race. Deja Vu, he will be 2nd. Yutsuki, he might be 3rd. But who will be 4th, who will be 5th, who will be 6th? All these points are very, very important. There we have Yutsuki rounding the mark. Oh, hitting the mark, unforced penalty. This is giving Ramon a chance to get maximum points out of it. Grease 9 coming in, Vit Farley coming in, and Ramon also hitting the mark. No, Alec. This can't be true. What are these guys doing? They are such top players, and doing a mistake like that at the top mark, dropping 2 positions. So now Farley, Pepito, Rock, Tristan, Carlos back in the race. So
we haven't talked about pressure much tonight, but now the pressure is beginning to take an effect, and we're beginning to see unforced errors, and we're beginning to see these top players make mistakes. And now Chico Pimelo, you say the youngster, he's one of the oldest in the fleet at 28 years old. The lad from Cascais in Portugal is going to win this race. He's off in the distance, crossing the finish line there. But look, and what a win. What a win for him. 75 metres ahead of Britain's Deja Vu when you think that they were bow to bow on the previous leg. So well done to the Portuguese. Some important points for him. Really important points for Deja Vu as they head into the medal race. And Yutsuki with his best result of the night as well in 3rd. The same could be said for Greece. 9, who's coming in 4th. But the fight is on now for 4th, 5th and 6th. Rocco still in the battle there, but what about Tristan? What about Azir?
No, this is an important battle. Ramon takes 1 extra point. He takes 1 more point of Greece. So Ramon takes 4th. Rock coming in. Where's Tristan? He's getting last. So 9. So he's getting 7 points out of this race. And Pepito, 10th position. He will get 9 points out of this race. Alec, this is... last year we said this is going to be a very tight middle race. We had a clear, maybe a winner, Ramon, last year. This year it's going to be crazy. Let's just take the score here. Chico Pimelo winning the first race of tonight. Deja Vu in 2nd, Yutsuki in 3rd. Best result tonight. Ramon 4th, Greek 9 in 5th. Rock in 6, Carlos in 7, Farley in 8, Tristan in 9, Pepito in 10, Alec. Yo. Tristan had the best start, and then we can just say Chico Pimelo sailed the shortest distance, and he took the lead from the start, held it. We saw Tristan got a penalty in the start, he got another penalty, and then he dropped down, gave up the race. Farley dropping down also. So Alec, even if you're winning the 3 races tonight, you're not in the overall lead of this regatta. And Alec, they're fighting for one special thing tonight. There's even the prize pool they're fighting for, 10K and the World Championship. But there's also a very good thing, a very important thing. There's this red cap from Mount Gay, a traditional cap they are battling for. So let's just see what they can win and hear a story about it.
It's a real icon for a sailor to have a red cap. It's always a conversation starter. The thing is that all the regattas we are sponsoring, we are making this red cap, so with the name of the regatta and the year. So it's always something treasured by the sailors. It means I've been there. I sailed this regatta. And we are not giving away, you have to earn it. So you have to make the regatta, you have to be on the boat, you have to sail it. And so yeah, it's a fantastic keepsake for all the sailors.
Alec Wilkinson, what we are watching tonight is the most crazy thing I have experienced for a very long time. We are at the World Championship and see the points.
Yeah, I mean, I'd need to go through the archives, but I'm pretty sure this is the closest World Championship final ever I mean, look at that. The top 8 mathematically could all win the World Championship, and 1 point only separating the top 3, 5 points separating the top 4. I need some of that Mount Gay rum to get me through this.
Yeah, and I have to say, this is going to be a very tight race. The players are ready. No, we are missing one player. One player has connection issues. Let me just see who it is. Oof, Alec. It's Tristan having connection issue. Hey, he forgot to charge his mobile phone. Uh-oh. If he's not ready for the race when the race officer calls it, then we are in trouble. But Alec...
Well, we're not in trouble. He's in trouble. And what a story that would be. But no, let's hope we get them all 10 in there, because we want to see a nice, fair race.
Yeah, we can see here they are getting ready for the race. You can see Deja Vu is in there, Carlos there, and now Tristan in there. So let's start the medal race, the last race of this eSailing World Championship 2021. Alec
Medal
Wilkinson,
race will be in the J70, our second J70 race of the regatta. They'll go upwind first, they'll come back down, and go back up and back down. So it's 4 legs down to the finish line, and they are in, well, where else would you be for a World Championship final but at the home of Mount Gay? We're in Barbados.
Yeah, and I have to say, being in Barbados and also have this chance, I have to say I'm the most jealous actually, not on the World Championship, but on the red cap. I didn't get one last year. The Nations Cup winners got one and the world champions got one. But us here in studio, sweating and commentating, almost dying of because of all this very, very close racing, is not winning it. But Alec, they are battling for the World Championship. Yeah.
You don't get an Olympic medal for commentating, do you? You should do, but you don't. So there we go. Right, let's focus on this medal race. It's double points, remember. The top 8 could all take the World Championship. It is go, and it is penalties. So some bad starts there for Pepito and Ramon. Ramon, one of our overall leaders, has to go back and start again.
Yeah, so Ramon, Pepito, Yutsuki, Farley, terrible start. But how does it look for rest of the fleet? Here we have Greece 9, Yanis. He's out of the race for the World Championship. No, he's not. He can still win it. Then we have Carlos Pereiro. He's here in 5th. Then we have Rocco coming in here in 3rd. But Chico, the Portuguese, he's in the lead, Alec. So right now, Portugal is going to have their first eSailing World Champion. But There's a long way to that finish line, so let's not talk him up too much. Farley here on the right-hand side, it's going to be nice and slow. He's trying to capture and win after that terrible start, and you can see he's sailing into a darker breeze, but will the wind shift be with him?
Well, we'll find out. We'll keep an eye. Well, it's coming across the course from that right-hand side now, the breeze. You can see the water darkening on the horizon. But Chico Di Mello then out on the right. Here we've got Ramon Perejo trying to make his way back after a really poor start from him. Chico Di Mello in the middle. And to his left-hand side, we've got Tristan Perron as there. And his tactic will basically be to just sit there and be in control of Chico and of Ramon. At the moment, Ramon doesn't seem to be too big a concern for Azair, for Tristan, but he just wants to keep an eye on Chico Pimele. He wants to stay close and be in control, and then he's happy.
But Alec, right now there's coming a left shift. That's in favor of both for Carlos, Rock and Tristan. Means Chico, he's in trouble right now. When he tacks into the opposite side, the wind is not in favor with him, so he needs to do something. Oh, Tristan going it early on it. So interesting call by Tristan. He might drop more than 4th position, so he's taking a chance, while we're seeing Grease 9 over here in a good position with that wind shift at the moment.
Yeah, Grease 9 doing really well, taking advantage of that shift, as they're deciding to try and look for that wind and take some. And, as they approach that top mark for the first time, we will find out whose tactic was the best.
Yeah, and mathematic, if Grease 9 is winning 5 position in front of Tristan, Ramon, Chico, then he will be the next eSailing World Champion. And right now, he's doing what Jon Cardona did last year, put himself in the lead in the middle race. So he's doing everything he can to take it in. Just behind him, Carlos Pereiro coming in here. And Carlos right now, Alec, is overall 6. So everything is very, very open. I can't do the mathematics while we are commentating a race like this. There we have Rocco coming in. He's a little bit out of the race, but he can make a lot of trouble for the rest of the fleet. Then Chico in 4th, a very good position for him if he wants to win. But just behind him, Tristan coming in. Then we have Deja Vu, Yutsuki, and Pepito coming in here last. And Alec, that's putting Farley and Ramon way out of the fleet, having a hard time coming back in this race.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before with Ramon. We saw this a year ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where he was overall leader, and then the medal race just didn't go his way. He lost 7 positions and saw that victory go to Joan Cardona.
Oh,
but
interesting. Alec, I have to say, interesting call by Chico tacking away. See how light wind he is. Rest of the fleet, 11.8. Chico, 11.0. He chose to go into lighter wind, and now Tristan can attack him. So a direct battle between Chico and Nasir. He opened that up. So the winner of that battle might be the next world champion, because Ramon is so far away. So they're not even worried by rest of the fleet. They are focusing on each other. But it's still Grease 9 in the lead.
Grease 9 ahead of Carlos, the 42-year-old from Greece, from Thessaloniki. Really leading the way in this medal race. He used to campaign for Greece in the Olympics in the Tornado class. So hugely experienced, and as we were saying earlier, Thomas, really experienced e-sailer. He's been a sailor, an e-sailer ever since the start of the game. And he's coming to this downwind gate now in the lead, 20 meters from Carlos Perejo. And in 3rd place, we've got Rocco of Italy.
And then we have penalties. Deja Vu losing to Tristan. Oh, shh. But Tristan dropping down, Alec. 3 positions. Ramon, he tries to come back in the race, racing to the opposite side. So Chico in 4th position, winning momentum in this upwind leg in front of Tristan. But Tristan still trying to gap into him. Still only one position in between them, but this will make Chico being the next world champion.
We're seeing, really, I think we're seeing the leaders almost getting sort of too wrapped up in their own battle at the top of the leaderboard. So you've got Ramon and Pepito and Tristan sort of just focusing on themselves and on their battle for the lead. And they're now seeing others break away. And who knows, maybe we're going to see a real upset now.
Yeah, but Chico only needs to do one thing, Alec. He needs to keep this young lad, Tristan Perron, behind him. If he manages to do that and win one position in front of him, then he can call himself the next eSailing world champion. If not, Ramon, Farley and Pepito wins too much in front of them. But let's go back to the overall leader of this race. It's Grease 9. He looks quite comfortable up here.
He does, and Chico Pimelo is looking good as well in that second place, and that's a world championship winning position for Chico Pimelo. But Grease 9, coming up to the top mark for the final time with a good distance on Carlos.
Yeah, and Carlos doing it great again here, trying to come back in the race. He has been having a hard time. Also, I know him quite well. He's getting a little bit nervous sometimes, but we need to keep an eye out here. Pepito, he might come back into this race. No, he's too far away from the rest of the fleet. Took a chance out here. And then we have Ramon. He's in 9th, so he's still having a very hard time. But Tristan dropping to 7. Chico, he's in 4th. But see, Chico, we need to go to this battle. Chico under pressure by Yutsuki. Chico in 6th. So Tristan is here. Chico is here. Yutsuki in between them. So if Tristan is behind Yutsuki, then Chico from Portugal, surprise, surprise, will go in and take the World Championship in a position 6, Alec. I have to say, I've never experienced anything like it. And now we are having Grease 9 in the lead. And what an honor for him winning the medal race tonight. But he can still be world champion.
So the downwind leg, obviously vital and very important in the J70. Grease 9 can still be caught by Rocco. But Grease 9, hugely experienced. Not sure I can imagine him being caught. And at the moment, with Pepito up in 4th, there's an interesting battle there between Chico and Pepito. Because I'm going to do the maths.
Alec, Farley missed the gate. Tristan 9, Ramon 8, Chico 7. So the overall leaders dropped to the last position. This can give Greek 9 the overall victory. No. What are we experiencing? The leaders has been battling so much against each other that Greek 9 is now 6th position in front of Chico. And as I said in the start, he just needs to be 5th position in front of all of them to win it. No. So this battle up here with Grease 9 and Rocco is damn important for Grease 9 to win. That can give him the World Championship to Grease right now.
Wow.
Penalty, Grease 9! No! Carlos will come in and ruin it, maybe. This is the closest call.
Rocco, who has struggled for so much of this regatta, may have just decided the World Championship for somebody else. Yeah. And Rocco is coming in as they approach the finish line of this medal race in the World Championship. The points are all up for grabs, and Grease 9 will be looking behind him and wondering who has got the advantage. Rocco is in a good position. Rocco of Italy, who has struggled throughout the regatta, has actually come good in the end to take the medal race ahead of Carlos Parejo and Grease 9, and then comes Pepito and Yutsuki of Japan. So a real turn up for the books. And now Chico Pimelo.
And Tristan in 9th, Alec. So
Tristan in 9th. I think that's cost him the championship. Pepito in 4th. We've got a lot of mathematics to do.
Yeah, Alec, and let's just do it here. We need to take it slow. I need to breathe because we are going to crown the next eSailing World champion in a few seconds. Rocco with a victory. Carlos in second, Grease 9 in third, Pepito fourth, Yutsuki fifth, Chico in sixth, Ramon in seven, and Ramon is 1 point in front of Chico, so that wins Chico win over him. Dishivu 8, Tristan 9, Farley 10th. Who
Carlos.
is going to win it, Alec? I think we maybe have looked at somebody else, and we will find out in a few seconds, because before we go into that, Alec, let's just jump into studio and then have the results afterwards. Alec, I have to say, soon we're going to have a very important in studio as a guest. But I have to say, while we have been focusing on the 3 best players all night, one of the young guns came from behind and came in and did something great. Let's just have the score here, and then let's crown the next eSailing World Champion 2021.
Our world champion for 2021 is a Spaniard. It is the 19-year-old from Seville, and his name is Carlos Parejo, who pulled off the most extraordinary medal race that saw his nearest challengers drop down to the back of the fleet. And Carlos Parejo, with that second place finish in the medal race, has sneaked the victory by 1 point. Chico Pimelo in second, Pepito took third, and the man who has led for all the regatta, has led the leaderboard, Azaire Tristan Perron of France, who was the absolute favourite to win, in the end slipped down to fifth with a terrible 9th placed finish in the medal race. Who would have believed it just 10 minutes ago? So for the second time running, we've got a Spanish eSailing world champion. It's a huge congratulations to Carlos Parejo, 19 years old, 10 grand, a trophy, and a red Mount Gay beret going his way.
And Alec, right now we're waiting for getting both of them into studio. We have pictures on them, and Raf, can I have you press full screen? Then we are having you with you into studio in a few seconds. And while we're waiting for Raf, then I can see the overall winner. He's sitting and crying right now, Alex. So let's just start with the winner, and then we take Raf just after, because he is going to handle over the prize. So please welcome the eSailing World Champion 2021.
Carlos, congratulations. You're live on the show. Well done. Well, how do you feel now?
I can't believe that I can release that I have won this race. It's amazing. I'm in shock now.
Did you go into the medal race thinking that you could actually win? Did you believe that?
Yes, I was without no pressure, because I know that probably I was not going to win. So I went to the medal to make a good medal, and let's see what happens.
And how do you feel about your whole performance in general?
Very poor, to be honest, because I started really well with 2 seconds, but after that I didn't feel very well with the game, and I started to do not very good results, but happy at the end.
Now, Carlos, the winner last year was Joan Cardona, also of Spain. He then went on to win a bronze medal at the Olympic Games. I know that you sail the laser and the 420 in regional regattas. What are your ambitions and hopes for sailing?
I have now just decided to stop sailing in real life because I started the university, but I hope in 2 years be back on sailing, and who knows, I would like to do something again.
Are you alone? Are you at home at the moment? Are you alone, or have you got people
No,
there?
no. My brother Ramon was just here, but playing with me next to me, but have left now to of the room. My family is just there in the living room, watching my race, and I can hear them that they are vamos Carlos cheering me.
Carlos, congratulations. We need you to stay in here and please mute down because we are going to invite in a very important person in studio right now. He also has some very good words to tell to you. He has been watching your performance right now. And all of you, please welcome Rafael Resino.
Hi guys.
Hey Raf, and welcome in studio. What do you think about tonight's racing? Last year it was tight. This year we couldn't count on it.
Well, that's crazy. What is crazy is that it keeps changing, and I mean, I almost had a heart attack, you know, and because it's changing all the time, and you're betting on somebody, and then he's first, and then he's going last. I mean, it's just crazy. Lots of penalties. Also, I was impressed of so probably the game is super sensitive because you have to drive super carefully on your boat. So that is also a trick. I mean, it's super difficult at the end of the day. There's the tactic, there's the strategy, but there's also, I guess, on the handling your boat. Yeah, you have to be very, very good.
Yeah, and yeah, Alec, just come in.
Incredible, isn't it, though, that such a young player, 19 years old, could keep a calm, cool head and come through, 4 or 5 places in the medal race.
No, that's fantastic. I guess Carlos is playing for a long time now, or is just a young player in the eSailing, because his ability to win races and come back, I mean, it's crazy. So that's super nice to see. I love it.
Rafael, will you help us, please? Because we are going back to Carlos. And while we are here, Carlos, please invite in your whole family into the room because we have a special surprise to you. Rafael, can you please tell a little bit about this red cap? Because that means a lot for the players.
Yeah, the red cap is, is a symbol of red cap. Monge is sponsoring regattas for more than 40 years. And it's true that having the red cap, so with the Monge logo, but also the name of the regatta, the year, means you earn it. When you have a red cap, you earn it. You went in this regatta. You could have won or not necessarily, but you were there. And so, Carlos, you're going to have it. Bien hecho, Carlos. Has hecho un tremendo trabajo hoy en día. Has jugado como un campeón. And you really did a great job, and you deserve this red cap for sure. Be part of the Red Cap Society now, the Monge Red Cap Society.
Carlos is crying right now a little bit. And Carlos,
oh,
it's okay. You can be proud. Call in your family because I have a special surprise for you. So call in them all. I have a special surprise for you all. And to all of you watching this eSailing show out there, I have to ask you all to please stand up and take care. Now we're going to have the national song of Spain. Congratulations, Carlos. And Alex, see how proud he is. He doesn't know what to do of himself. I love these moments, and it's very, very good. Again, huge congratulations, Carlos.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and with those pictures and all these people in studio tonight, just enjoy the rest of the song. And this was the eSailing World Championship 2021.
All the other participants that did a great job tonight. I mean, they all raced super well.
And well done to all the leading sailors who gave us so much entertainment over the last couple of hours. Wow.
Yeah.
So you see there just what it means to be an eSailing world champion, and what an incredible night, because that's 2 years running we've had a Spanish eSailing world champion. So congratulations to Carlos.
Yeah. And Alec, with that said, we still have the others in studio. That's why you can hear some noise with us. Fantastic to have Rafael Cosino live with us from Barbados, handing over the prize to Carlos Pereiro. Sitting
He always
in
ends up.
Yeah.
He always ends up coming live to us from the beach. He's always on the beach.
at a big rum festival. But with that said, this was Thomas Bjørnlucci and Alec Wilkinson guiding you through this eSailing World Championship. And congratulations to the family of Pereiro and to the youngest Carlos winning this eSailing World Championship 2021.